Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls. My name is Dan. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I do believe there is a message in here for you. However, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's cool, that's chill. Check out my channel. There are so many other readings there. I'm sure you'll find something that fits you. Where has she been? I feel like we have this conversation every single time recently. I feel like I've been away for 3 weeks or something like that. Look, she's busy. I locked in a couple of months ago and now I'm having to deal with the amazing repercussions of that. But also, I'm in this vicious cycle, right? Where if I started coming back to doing readings and then that really kind of opened a doorway to certain things. And I think maybe if you're a dedicated reader, Empress, as I split the deck, my gosh, okay, high, and the Nine of Swords underneath. Okay. Five of Wands. Okay. There's an energy already coming through. Knight of Swords coming up. What I will say is 10 of Swords. I'm going to stop looking at cards. Okay. We're going to get into these cards. What I will say is, yes, vicious cycle where I get back into doing tarot readings and then doorways start opening up, and I might have mentioned that my premonition started to get, well, a lot of things have started to get weird and wacky. There's a lot of weird and wacky things going on with me and my intuition right now, in a great and beautiful way, but in a way that I don't know how to manage or control entirely or hone or anything like that. And because I haven't honed it and it's just getting stronger, it's quite a freaky, deaky experience for me. I've actually wanted to sit down and do a reading for you all like 3 times in the last 3 weeks and just something happened. So maybe we weren't ready for the message and now we are. We have a lot of quite intense sword energies going on here, and we have this Empress energy. I'm taking this as you. This might be someone on your mind if you are centering on someone in particular and you want to get on reading on them and what's going on with them, that I'm taking this as your energy because I know we have a lot of Empress energies within this collective. Because Empress energy is what I aim to attract. Empress that's my girl. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords, Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, Nine of Swords, Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. A lot of internal work been going on. All right, there probably was a cut there. I just have been scratching my arm and I'm like, did a spider bite me? Is that a spider bite? Oh my gosh. I am in Australia, so spider bites could be, I don't know. I'll worry about that later. So, it seems like there has been a crazy amount of internal processing going on for you. It almost feels like you thought the healing was done and then there's like a whole nother layer going on with the healing that needed to be done. Oh, all these messages actually came through in the last couple of days as well. And I'm like, oh, that's just for me. And now it's literally coming up in the cards. Okay. So the way that I see this, there's an analogy that I have. It's like, I'm going to use, this might be triggering to some people who have experienced things with EDs. So if you're not okay with me speaking on that a little bit, but it's just as an analogy, right? It's actually more like, it's not too emotional when I get into it, but let's talk about that as an analogy and with recovery and healing, right? So I had a lot of disordered eating things going on when I was in my early 20s and my late teens. And recovery through that process, it can look like initially, your hair starts growing back in the normal way and, your weight starts to like normalize and, your attitude towards food maybe starts to mend. And those things on the surface, those are the things that like immediately start to heal. And once those things heal, you're like, okay, I've recovered, like this is good. But then 5 years, 10 years down the track, you're dealing with a metabolism that's entirely shot. Like there are these really, really long-term repercussions. That analogy is what I was wanting to get into, because it feels like that is what's going on with your healing journey. It almost feels like you resolved the initial hurts, you resolved the initial triggers. Maybe you're not, getting anxious in the same way that you used to, but there are some like very deep-seated things that came from that, whether it's childhood trauma, relationship trauma. There are some very deep-seated things that have sat there and are still there. And it feels like the healing, it's still going. And I hope that if you're in this process that you're giving yourself a lot of grace. Because healing can be annoying and frustrating like that, but there are so many beautiful things that are available for us to learn through that process. I know that on my end, dealing with, I had a long-term partner that was very, very not good. Very, very not good. And by very, very not good, I think that's like the girl way of saying, yeah, they were not a nice person. I'm going to say it without dissociating. Oh, I knew if I brought this up, I would start dissociating. It's okay. We are here. Also, if you start dissociating, my therapist told me this. If you just start dissociating, you should let yourself do it because your mind's trying to protect you. And apparently I'm not supposed to be fighting against it, but I am going to work through this. When I was dealing with that, I had someone who also had gone through something similar tell me that like, oh yeah, and it took this long to heal, and we were just kind of like having almost like small talk about healing. And she was like, yeah, it always takes longer than you think, and then when you feel like the healing's done, there's still more to do. And I've met that in so many points of my healing process. I feel like the healing's done, and then there's all this stuff underneath. There are layers, like an onion. Okay, Shrek reference. Okay. But I just hope that you're giving yourself a lot of grace and space through that. What I can see in the cards is that you processing this is changing you. It's changing the way that you communicate. It's changing the way that you show up. It's changing the way that you are perceiving the world around you. It could even be changing the content that you consume. You might be gravitating more towards the long form, whereas historically you were on social media consuming short form, or maybe you're reading more, or maybe you're watching movies, which is maybe not something that you usually do, or listening to albums instead of just throwing on a Spotify playlist. Like there's something things are really shifting within you. Things are really changing. I feel like for a lot of you, you're actually like aware of this and driving this forward as well. That you're choosing to be different, choosing to act different because you do want to see a version of yourself that acts differently. And you are ready to welcome like a new version of yourself into existence by letting them come to the front, by letting yourself say the things that you want to say. That I feel very strongly that you're like just telling people how you feel about them, what you think about situations, and there's a lot less fear of what the reaction or the response is going to be. It almost feels like your communication is really for you. I think that there's still a lot of growing pains around integrating bad responses or lack of responses, but that is far outweighed by the freedom that you get from really owning your truth, owning how you feel, and standing so strongly behind it that you are not afraid to say it. I think that's so awesome and so amazing, and exactly why I love attracting Empress energies to the reading, because this is the energy that we all need. An Empress bestie. Now you might be the Empress bestie for people, in which case even more important that you get yourself an Empress bestie. Empress besties need someone else as well to inspire, motivate, ground, and heal them as well. And that's why I love gravitating towards this energy. There is just so much healing and growth and transformation going on within you. It is coming with hard days though. There's a really beautiful side to owning your truth and welcoming this, I want to say like more centered, more authentic, but it's greater than that. Like it's fearless. You know, there's this really fearless part of you that is coming to the front and calling the shots. And the other parts of you are like ready to let the fearless part of you lead. But the fearless part of you takes risks, which means you have a greater opportunity for opportunity, but it also means that like you're putting yourself out there, and that can come with a lot of, you know, I affectionately call them dippy days. And maybe you've been having some of those recently. I hope you guys don't mind my infantilized language of negative things. I am constantly trying to speak in the positive without being like toxically positive. You know, I'm still acknowledging it. Just trying to reframe it. Maybe that's something I need to work on. Anyways, let's get back onto you. Okay. I was going to do like a full Celtic Cross reading, which is the layout I used to do with us just like hanging out with friends, which I actually don't. I just kind of like free read on here. Maybe I should do a Celtic Cross. Maybe I should just do one for me and not... Man, okay, I'm sorry. I've been... Spacey does not even begin to describe what's been going on with me recently. I'm not going to get into it. I know that there are just some things going on in my head that I am yet to fully comprehend, but I appreciate your patience if you're still here. We have the 9 of Cups coming up. Can we please get a context card? Thank you. Oh. Last one. Oh my gosh, okay. I feel like you're ready to put yourself out into the world in a way that you have not been expecting yourself to do so. I feel like there are a lot of things that you kind of put down, or like put down as in you were doing them for a while and you're just like, maybe this isn't for me anymore, or things that you entirely ruled out as being like not at all for you, that you are starting to realize that you are strong enough to do. It's within your wheelhouse. This could be your niche kind of energy. It really is calling on this idea that you are ready for the next thing. You're ready for the next goal. And I feel like for a lot of you, what that is has started to solidify. And I don't think you expected it to be what it is. Or you didn't expect it to include aspects of different skill sets, different industries, different genres. Like, I don't think you expected yourself to ever do this. Like, for a couple of you as an example, but this might be you, like, maybe you've had an idea for like a fiction book and you never, ever, 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 ever saw yourself being a fiction writer or writing a novel. That's just like not something you ever thought that was going to happen, but suddenly it's like hard left. This is something that you are really, really focused on. Like this whole world is just coming to you. I feel like there's a lot of that energy going on, and I feel like it's not just one thing. It's not just a book. It's a few different things. It feels like there's something really interesting to learn from what's going on here, is that the more you start to heal, the more creative you're becoming, the more inventive you're becoming. And I think it has a lot to do with the way that you are actually integrating these kind of lost parts of yourself that can now contribute to your present life. And I think that you probably are starting to see this already, but you will be like beautifully surprised at how capable and how strong these abandoned parts of yourselves are, and how much they have to bring to the table, and how expansive your opportunities and your potential is. And it comes through the process of healing. So we take this lesson and we keep it in mind. Yeah, we take notes on this, because I'm sure if you are a creative person, like this reading is indicating, that, you know, there are seasons of creativity. As a writer myself, as like a musician and a songwriter, I know that for me, I have to have seasons of life where I'm living life, and then seasons where I'm writing about life, you know? And some people can just write really, really, really consistently, but I know what works for me, and I'm okay with that. But it has been frustrating at points to not understand why certain blocks are happening in certain places. But if we could say, identify that if I really dive into my healing, that could recover parts of me and, you know, memories that could reignite my creativity. So I can log that. And if I come into another kind of dry spell of writer's block, you know, then I can try and go internally to try and find that. So not only is this amazing that it's happening, but it's really great to know that this is a process going on. It's really cool how we can see patterns going on within us, discover new patterns that have always existed, or new habits, new reactions. One of the coolest things that I love about life is just learning about me, about how I react, and seeing how I react to new situations, new environments. Even me saying that now, I feel like that's a new thing. I didn't always like to be the kind of person that, you know, wanted to see how I would react in new environments, and now I am, and that's kind of cool that that switch has been made. Okay, I am rambling. Oh, she is spacey. She's spacey today. She's been spacey recently. You know what? I'm just going to yap about it. My channel, I'm going to yap about it. So, premonitions, yeah. But then I feel like sometimes I have these like, they're like, I would call them daydreams, but it's weird because, you know, when you're dreaming, in the dream, you know that it's happening and it feels real, and you're like wholly invested in what's going on and the person that you're talking to. And then when you wake up, it's like you sometimes can't even remember what was happening, right? That whole thing of like, I know I had a dream and it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't like remember what it was. That has started happening to me when I'm awake. And I would be like just sitting, and I know for a fact that my mind was in this place in a discussion. There was, you know, when you have something on your mind and you're like invested in it and you're talking about it, it's like an interesting conversation, right? It's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thing. And suddenly it was like I'm snapped out and I'm like, no, but it's like I was in a conversation with someone and then I'm like suddenly back in my body. That's been happening a lot. Which is so annoying because it's like a dream where I can't remember it. And that in conjunction with just like the premonitions getting more frequent, just more often than not, I know the really menial things that are about to happen in my day. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, who I'm supposed to talk to about these things, what I'm supposed to do with it all, you know? Like, I could Google, like, how to hone psychic abilities, but, like, I feel like there's probably some, like, oh my gosh, stop. Oh my gosh, my phone went off. My phone's listening to me. You know my phone knows now that I'm a psychic. Am I? Am I psychic? I don't know. Aren't we all a little bit psychic? My God. Why? Oh, Dan. This is what happens when you take a break. Let's get into oracle cards. Thanks for listening to me yap. If you guys have a recommendation of who or what resource to turn to if these things are going on that isn't like a cult, if it's occult, I'm okay with that. If it is a cult, I have had quite enough people brainwash and mess with my brain. I'm done. I'm done. I am no more, please, sir. I won't. No, thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. We have the fairy. Oh my gosh. I did a Reiki session once. My friend who did it said that one of my guides was a fairy. Cute. You're a badass. Keep winging it. Okay. Darling, don't you remember? You're a badass, keep winging it. I don't even think I've ever seen this card before. Blessings flow, magical energy. You are inhabiting a lot of magical energy. There's a lot of magical energy around you right now. There is a spider in... There's like this little... You're not going to be able to focus, but you can see... You can't see because it's not focused. It's focused here. Right there, hanging from this fairy's wing is a spider. Did I not just talk about spiders before? Girl. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. I've been feeling this in my little spacey moments, right? I feel like there's this really big, deep desire. And on the other side of it, there's this very calm feeling of you just wanting to be like held by someone. And I also feel like the times that you are, like it just feels like better than it ever has. You might have been the person that, you know, through the 2020 situation, maybe your hugs got a little bit distant or you just didn't give them as much. Or maybe you're just not going like heart to heart with people with the hugs. But I think your body and your mind and your soul feels safe enough to really hold someone and be held. So if you have some beautiful, safe people around you, go hold your friends, go hold your family, tell them you love them, let them love you and receive that on the other side. If you're here and you've made it to this point, my God, thanks. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me tap into your energy. Thank you for tolerating me. And I'll see you in the next reading.